After 3 years of declining, I finally purchased the Nvida Shield. Now for the last 3 years, every time about this time of the year, Black Friday, that area, they would put these on sale for $139. Now this one comes with the remote only and not the gamepad. Now originally 3 or 4 years ago when this first came out, it was introduced as a gaming machine. So I did not want a gaming machine, but it did not even come with a remote. It came with a gamepad only. But anyway, the only reason I bought this one, which I don't even know if I'll ever use, but the reason I bought this one, because they tossed in a Echo Dot. Now I have no idea what an Echo Dot is. I know it's something to do with Amazon. I do not do Amazon. But what I plan on doing, and again, if they had not thrown that in, I would not have bought that. Okay, so since it is coming up with Christmas time, my son is heavy into Amazon, and I don't think he has one of these. At least I hope he doesn't. But anyway, that's going to be one of his gifts. Matter of fact, I'll be going to visit him for Thanksgiving, so I'll bring it to him. So I think he might be able to use that. Now, it says Echo Dot. I'm thinking it's like that, which is the Google Home Mini. Now this is a spare one that I bought for my granddaughter, but she didn't seem to want to use it, so it just sits dormant. I have one also in the living room that I use quite extensively, but anyway, I think that's what it is. So anyway, I will go ahead and open up this box and see what it looks like. Okay, so that's it. 4K HDR, Android TV, got all that information on the back of the box. Got more information here on the bottom of the box. A little bit of barcodes there. And that's it. So let's go ahead and open it up. If we can figure out how to open it up. Okay, looks like you got tape here. And tape here. So this is the device right here. That is it. And there's your ports. Ethernet port. That's a Kensington lock, I do believe. HDMI, which should be HDMI 2.2, I would guess. And 2 USB ports. Now I think these are supposed to be USB 3, but it doesn't say, and they're not in blue, so I'm not sure, but I think they're supposed to be USB 3. It's got some vent there. So, and it uses an Nvida CPU, same thing that the ADT1 used, except the ADT1 used another earlier version. So anyway, that's what you got there. Here's the remote. This is going to be kind of a flimsy remote for me because it's very slick, and I'll just keep dropping it. So that's the remote. Here is the wall wart. That's a pretty heavy wall wart. I'm not sure what the voltage and the current on that. I'll have to check. And it's connector. It's a different connector than most of my boxes have. Most of my boxes have a barrel connector, so I cannot make a mistake and plug the wrong one in. So I'll look at that later when I can see what the voltage and current is. Don't know what that is. I guess this is a manual. I don't know who can read that. But anyway, that's supposedly a manual. And I guess that's it. So we'll go hook it up. I'm not very excited about this. You give me one of those cheap $40 Android boxes, I get excited. This one does not excite me at all, but I'll go ahead and plug it in and hook it up. Okay, this is the first power up. Now, a couple things. The power supply is a 19 volts at 2.1 amp. So that's about 40 watts of power. So basically I could run 4 of those cheap Android boxes, which are 10 watts or less. I could run 4 of those for the price of energy that I'm running this thing. So this is a power hungry little device compared to the other devices. Okay, press button. Okay, I press button. Does it need batteries? I don't know. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and go through this screen and then I'll be back. One other thing too, when I was pointing out the ports on the back, I said that was a Kensington lock. Apparently my brain was not engaged, but like they say, a brain is a terrible thing to waste. So no, it was not a Kensington lock, it was a power port. I think that's the USB-C connector. I believe that's what it is. So anyway, I'll go ahead and finish setting this up and then I'll be back. Okay, it connected with my cell phone. And connected with everything. So anyway, I'm not going to use my cell phone. It seems to be really fast. What the heck? Okay, well, let it do what it's going to do, then I'll be back. Oh, what it appears to be doing, there was an Android system update. So I don't know what the heck an update is, or why it's even updating without letting me decide whether I want to update or not. So it's arbitrarily saying that it's going to update without my input, which I don't particularly like, but that's what it's doing. Upgrading your Shield experience. Again, I don't know how much I would use this device. It's pretty much for people that likes to just work, and that's not me. I like to tinker. I like my tinker toys. But I guess this is the king of the Android devices, using the Android TV OS. And as I say, when it first came out, it was built as a gaming machine, not really to compete against the PS or the Xbox, not to compete against them, but actually to offer an alternative gaming machine. And it evolved into a media player, which is what most people are using right now. So that's the history of it. All right, it's taking a few minutes. Okay, there it is. Well, maybe not. It's taking its own time to update the OS. So let's see if it's still at Android 8.0 or 8.1. Hopefully it's 8.1. But I guess they're pretty much on top of squashing bugs that's introduced into the different OSs. I do have a Xiaomi Mi, but I'm still left it at 7.0. I did not update to 8 because I understand they had lots and lots of issues, so I did not update that. Again, Xiaomi does not update their product as much as they do here, and when they did update it, they killed a lot of functionality, and a lot of people were extremely angry. All right, so hold on, I'll be back. Okay, let's check out the settings. Okay, network, nothing in that. I'm using Ethernet, I'm not using Wi-Fi. Display and sound, pretty basic. I don't want anything to control the box other than this remote. I don't want it controlled by the TV remote, and I don't want to control this with the TV remote. But anyway, system. Apps. And these are the apps here that I added. All the other ones are system apps, which again, I don't particularly like when they add those as a system app. Plex Media Server. Now they added that. I did not add that. They did that. I don't like that. Prime Video, all this stuff that I don't want, you cannot uninstall them because they're a system app, which I really don't know why they do that. I hate that because I like mine neat and clean. Oh, storage. Now this is a slick little device here. Transfer files to computer using USB. But mount network storage. Now this one is slick. Okay, I've already mounted my NAS, my Western Digital NAS, and my other Synology NAS. I mounted those two. These can be mounted, but I don't need to mount those. So that is a slick item right there when you mount your external storage devices. About, again, version 8.0.0. Why don't they have 8.1? I guess it doesn't matter if it's stable. Home screen, this is where you can customize your channels. You can add, delete, whatever. Google accessibility, developers options. Okay, if you want to go into that, you can do that. Add accessories, shield. Okay, that's pretty much that. Okay, now you can move whatever you want, put them here. Same thing, you got customized channels here. Same thing that you had in the settings. Live TV, next up. Matter of fact, I'm going to add that one. Google Play, I don't want any of those. I turned all those off. Google Music, I turned that one off. Netflix, recommended. I turned all those off. Plex, I left on the Plex. YouTube, I left on recommended, turned off trending. So that's how you set up these over here. And if you want to move this one up, move it up like that. Whatever, okay. So now let's go back into the HD Home Run. Now this is my DVR. I can't show too much of this, but these are those prime channels right here. Recorded, Discovery, but I'm not going to go into depth of this. Is what the HD Home Run app looks like, okay? It's pretty fast. I guess some of my other boxes might be just a tad slower, but not that much difference between them. MB, now this is my go-to app. Now one thing that this Nvida Shield supports that my other Android boxes does not support, I get high definition audio out of this. So I'll do it very briefly. Avatar. Okay, we'll take Avatar, play that. Now my AVR, my Denon AVR showing DTS HDMA, master audio. Okay, now the stats for nerds should pop up here soon. Okay, I thought I had it enabled. All right, that's direct play. It's 1920 by 1080. It's in a video codec H.2.4. Okay, I got to get out of that. Okay, that was direct play. So that does give you high definition audio. Now, one other thing too now, this one, a lot of people talk about frame rate changing, which I never knew anything about until I started reading some of these forums, and I guess it's a big deal in these European countries. My eyes never noticed any difference. Normally everything plays on my TV at 60 frames per second. So if you look at that, it says UHD 3460 by 2160/60 frames per second, okay? Now, supposedly when they make these videos, they film them in 24 frames per second, not 60 frames. So when you're watching it at 64 frames, supposedly every so many frames it has to skip one or two to catch up. So they call that frame rate adjustment. Okay, so let's see what we got here. Again, this one's playing high definition audio. Okay, there. If you look at the top right hand corner, it changed to 24 frames per second. So that does that. What happened? Oh, I don't know. Did I turn the power off? Went a blank screen. I don't know what that was. No clue. Another blank screen. Okay, that's probably because it's going back to the 60 frames per second. Okay, see the top right hand corner? So when it blacked out, that's something it's communicating between this Nvida Shield and my TV, and it's setting the refresh back to 60. So I'm assuming that's why I got that black screen. Okay, now to get to there, I had to go to Options, go to Settings. Now if you look at the version number, 1.6.57, that's the newest one they've got. So if we go to Playback, enable the DTS HD pass-through, enable refresh rate switching. That's what I had to enable to get it to change to 24 frames per second. Refresh, okay. All right, those are the settings that I used. So this one, the other Android boxes I had, they do not give you the automatic frame rate adjustment, and it does not give me the HD audio. I get DTS and Dolby Digital, but not the HD audio. So that's what this one gives me. Of course, again, the HD Home Run gives me Dolby Digital, but that's all that's broadcast over the antenna. And Kodi, same thing. Now I just added some Blu-ray movies on this one. Now same thing in settings, player settings, I had to go into this one, adjust the refresh rate. Now again, same thing, if I, with that turned on, let's try it. Okay, now the Dirty Dozen. Now this one is encoded in VC1. The Amlogic boxes, they struggle with VC1. So let's see how this one looks. Now again, I cannot play it very long. Okay, now I did adjust to 24 frames per second. I don't know how to keep that from popping up. I'm looking through the background to see if it's jerky. But anyway, I will test that out later to see if it's jerky. But these struggle with that VC1 codec. And I don't want to go in and change a bunch to a different codec, because I have several that's encoded in that. Alright, so that's that one. The colors seem to be different on these, this box and some of my other boxes. Seem to be more washed out. They're not as bright and crisp as my other box. I don't know why. I don't know if there's a setting I need to make, but it looks kind of bland and washed out, the colors. Test patterns, I think I already showed you that. Again, I show my AVR, it's showing DD plus, W Digital plus, and it's taking a little while to get up to the 16,000.
Center tunnel.
It's about the same as my other boxes. As a matter of fact, this one might be a little bit slower getting up to speed. Okay, I think that pretty much covers everything I want to show you. So it's got some advantages that it gives me true HD audio, which some of my other boxes do not give me HD audio. I have to use Libre port or something like that. So this one does that. So is it worth the double the price premium? Me personally, no. Other people, yes, but I'm cheap anyway, so it's a nice box. Will I use it? Well, probably not, because I like to tinker with my other boxes. But anyway, that's what I want to show you. And again, it is a very nice box. It does everything that I can think of. All right, thank you.